Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It is Pam Esquire, also known as Your Law Intellect. Welcome, everyone. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Make sure you hit that like button for me if you like the content that we give over here. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. If you guys recall, just in about 24 hours ago, I reported breaking news that there was more charges that came down against Ernest Williams. One of the questions that I received was he indicted? Because we all know there's pre-indictment charges and there are also indictment charges. Well, I was aware that on the 23rd, when Nesto, this was one of the reasons why I didn't go live too. While he said that the grand jury only meets every other month and that they were lying, saying that the grand jury was going to meet in April, they had actually met on the 23rd. Okay, when he did this interview, which was very ironic to me. However, the indictment was not posted. So I went on here. I let everyone know in my membership that I was like, listen, I got reliable information that there was a grand jury impaneled and there was an indictment. So if you're in my membership, when people ask that question, I did put it in there. Well, now we have the indictment, which was just filed not too long ago. And yeah, we're gonna go through its 36 pages, a little less than 30 something pages. I have not read it yet. As soon as I was able to get my hands on it, I went live for you guys to go over it with me. But again, I need you guys to do me a favor and show that you appreciate all of the hard work and click that like button on your way in, subscribe to the channel. And we about to get into this indictment. We are about to get into this here indictment. You said, let me cut my fan on. Yeah. So whatever reactions I give are going to be reactions that I literally just saw this for myself. So here we are. I don't want to waste your time. I know many of you guys are at work. So I'm going to get to the point here. We have indictment. The state of Georgia versus Ernest Williams, aka Ernest Lavelle Williams, aka Nesto. That's counts 1 through 39. And Erica King, aka Erica Hughley, aka Erica Hughley, counts 7 through 14, 17 through 21, 32 through 35, and 37 through 38. We went over a lot of these charges on yesterday, so we're just going to start. This is the list. As you guys see, there are, I think there were 39 yesterday. Yeah, 39. And I'm going to hurry up and get past the names of the actual jurors or whatever. The grand juror aforesaid in the name and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams with the offense of violation of the Georgia RICO, Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, for the said accused individually and as the person concerned in the commission of a crime in Fulton County, Georgia on and between December 1st, 2009 and June 30th of 2022 acquired and maintained directly and indirectly an interest in and control of real property and personal property, including but not limited to United States currency, personal vehicles, motorcycles, coach buses, trailers, automotive parts, and a residence through a pattern of racketeering activity as described below and incorporated by reference as it fully set forth herein, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. I'm gonna get to your super chats in a minute. I gotta I'm gonna because we got a little bit to go here. Manner and method of the RICO scheme from at least December 1st, 2009 through June 30th, 2022. Ernest Williams engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity in Fulton County, Georgia, elsewhere in the state of Georgia, and in other states. The RICO scheme was designed to defraud unsuspecting individuals, businesses, and governmental entities with the primary purpose of depriving numerous victims of their property. Williams stole United States currency, personal vehicles, motorcycles, coach buses, trailers, automotive parts, and other various services and property, often by falsely promising to help his victims engage in new business ventures, to promote their existing business ventures, or to help them build their brand or image. Many of Williams' victims were women, and Williams often used the illusion of romantic or close personal relationship with those victims to manipulate them and steal from them. As part of the scheme, William knowingly entered into a fraudulent marriage with Shirley Strawberry, a famous radio show host. Williams used the void marriage and the high-profile celebrity connections he made because of the void marriage in furtherance of other frauds. During the course of the scheme, Williams recruited multiple co-conspirators, including Erica King. On multiple occasions, Williams solicited King to fraudulently assume the identities of multiple attorneys licensed to practice law in Georgia in order to deceive law enforcement and the courts, including by appearing in court and by falsely and fraudulently representing Williams in hearings as part of the pattern of racketeering activity. Williams engaged in various related criminal activities, including but not limited to theft by taking, theft by conversion, theft by deception, theft of services, theft by bringing stolen property into the state, acts involving theft, also swearing, filing false documents, false statements, and writing identity fraud and deposit account fraud. My gosh. Acts of racketeering activity. The said accused engaged in the following acts of racketeering activity in furtherance one or more incidents, schemes, and transactions that had the same and similar intents, results, accomplices, victims, and methods of commissions, and otherwise were interrelated by distinguishing characteristics and were not isolated incidents. This interrelated pattern of criminal activity was motivated by pecuniary gain. Act 1. On or between December 1st, 2009 and January 31st, 2010, the exact date being unknown to the grand jury, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by conversion in violation of OCCGA Section 16-8-4 over there in DeKalb County, Georgia, by having lawfully obtained United States currency, the property of Scott, the value in which exceeded $500, under an agreement to make a specified application of such funds, knowingly converting the funds to his own use in violation of the agreement. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to OCGA 16-14-3. You see all those subparts. On or between January 1st, 2013 and December 31st, 2013, the exact date being unknown to the grand jury, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by taking in violation of OCGA Section 16-8-2 in Fulton County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking United States currency, the property of Collins, the value of which was at least $5,000 but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering pursuant to the same statute. Act 3. On or about October 3rd, 2013, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft of service in violation of OCGA Section 16-8-5 in Fulton County, Georgia, by knowingly obtaining construction and remodeling services, which were available only for compensation, a value of which was at least $1,500, but less than $5,000, from Alvarado by deception with the intent to avoid payment. This was an act of racketeering. On or about October 18th, 2013, committed a felony offense of theft by taking in Fulton County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking United States currency, the property of a Waters, the value of which was at least $5,000 but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This too was an act of racketeering. Act 5, on or about November 24th, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by deception in violation of the Georgia Code in Fulton County, Georgia, by unlawfully obtaining United States currency or property of a Stokes, the value of which was at least $5,000, but less than $25,000 by deceitful means, by selling a 1989 Prevost vehicle to Stokes while intentionally failing to disclose a substantial and valid known lien and other legal impediments to the enjoyment of the vehicle. So he sold a vehicle to somebody that was really still owned by somebody else, like a Chrysler or something like that. Act 6, on or about December 16, 2014, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of false swearing in Fulton County by unlawfully having been administered a lawful oath and having executed a document knowing that it purported to be an acknowledgement of a lawful oath, knowingly and willingly making the false statement that each of Ernest Williams' prior marriages had been dissolved by divorce, and that Ernest Williams was not subject to any legal impediment or other reason Ernest Williams should not be married. Said false statements having been made in marriage license application. So all y'all that say he ain't had no application, he had an application and they got the number. It was filed in the probate court of Fulton County, Georgia, a matter other than a judicial proceeding. This was an act of racketeering. On or about December 16th, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of filing false documents in Fulton County by unlawfully and knowingly causing to be filed, entered, and recorded a document titled Marriage License Applications License in the probate court of Fulton County, Georgia, knowingly and having reason to know that the document was false and contained a materially false statements that each Ernest Williams' prior marriages had been dissolved by divorce and that Ernest Williams was not subject to any legal impediments or other reasons. Ernest Williams should not be married. This was an act of racketeering activity. Y'all okay out there? It's a lot. I know it's a lot. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to do this real quick. Take a quick break. April, thank you for the super sticker. Katina said, thank you, Pam. Thank you for being a member over here for 1 month. GC said, thank you. I am relaxing, ready for it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Diamond Pearl said, let me get some snacks and some libations. Thank you so much for the super chat. Lynn said, you are official. Love your dedication. I'm thanking you for the dedication over here. Sonia's hairline said, thank you, Pammy Pam. You're welcome. Thank you for the super chat. Katina, thank you so much for the super chat. 504 said, paying my bond ahead of time. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you, 504. I appreciate it. Black Queen became a member. Welcome. Mick Kenny, thank you so much for the super chat. Ready, just shut my work down for the day. Thank you, Gigi, for the super chat. Mrs. Piggy said, paying my retainer. Thank you so much. Nestel's non-existent dismissal. Thank you for becoming a member because, yes, nothing's dismissed. I am worthy said, hey, Dree. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Dre, look at your partner. You know what? I'm sitting up straight with coffee in hand. Let's go, Pammy Pam. Thank you, RJ, for the super chat. Trelosum said, thank you for the legal mind. Thank you so much for being here for 5 months. I appreciate that. Thanks for the legal information. Nestor was done. His Medicare will kick in while in prison. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Shy B said, thank you so much, Pam. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. I appreciate your dedication. Aisha said, thank you. Thank you. Nikki, thank you for becoming a member. Blue Sapphire, thank you so much. You said, thank you, pull up, Pam. Yes, I will pull up now. Thank you for being a member. You are one of the reasons why I pull up, because you guys appreciate the work and I appreciate you. True Sweet, thank you for the super sticker. Grown Woman Vibe, hey girl, la. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Thank you, Danny IRL, for the super chat. Real Talk Bougie, thank you so much, sis, for the super chat. I appreciate Nestle doing that nasty work since 2009. That is true. My first super chat ever. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Monica, for making me your first super chat ever. I appreciate that. Sonia, please take several seats, sis. Thanks, Pam. You're welcome. Miss Tasha G, thank you for the super sticker. Caramel Beauty, thank you so much for the super sticker. And for all the people that's going to come behind and say, I wish you just get to the information and stop thanking people, they probably don't even give anything anyway. I appreciate everything that everybody does. So you guys are going to have to just take a couple minute pause, because people don't have to do anything for you. And so I want to recognize that. I'm probably going to say this all wrong. Blummy Slady, thank you for the super sticker. Snoopalicious, thank you for your expertise. Thank you for the super sticker. GL, thank you for the super sticker. Stephanie, thank you for becoming a member. June's Poetry, you say you're always on the case. Thank you for the super chat. Sis Be Traveling, thank you for the super sticker. Beautifully Made, thank you for the super sticker. You said, thank you, Pam. Let the baptism begin. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. Glamour, thank you for the super sticker. Unita, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Generous Rose, thank you for the super sticker. You said, get them, Pam. Thank you for the super sticker, super chat. I'm sorry, DJ Torch and Friends Live Empowerment Network. That's a long title, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love and for the support. And Miss J and Crescenda and Simone, thank you so much for the cash apps. I appreciate it. Let's get back to business. We have Act 8 on and between May 1st, 2017 and August 31st, 2017, the exact date being unknown to the grand jury. Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by deception in violation of Kentucky. You see how they looped that Kentucky in there, Sonia? They don't have jurisdiction. You see how that works when it comes to RICO? In Fayette County, Kentucky, by obtaining United States currency, the property of a hawker, the value of which exceeded $10,000 by deception, with intent to deprive said owner of said property by creating and reinforcing a false impression as to intention and state of mind. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Kentucky, and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, and an act of racketeering under Georgia law. You see how they tie that in there? On or about November 3rd, 2017, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by taking, in violation of OCGA Section 16-8-2. That was over there in DeKalb County, by unlawfully taking a 98 Prevost vehicle from a Torres, the value of which exceeded $24,999, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This, too, was an act of racketeering. On or about November 11th of 2017, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of deposit account fraud. That was also over there in DeKalb, by making, drawing, and delivering a check and instrument for the payment of money on a bank to Torres in the amount of $9,000 for the present consideration of a 98 Prevost vehicle, knowing that said check would not be honored by the drawee. This was an act involving theft. Basically, it was a check that had no money or probably no people behind it. But we'll see as this progresses. This is theft, which is chargeable under the law of the state of Georgia, and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, in act of racketeering activity. This is Act 11. On or about January 4th of 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by bringing stolen property into the state in violation of OCGA section 16-8-9 in Fulton County, Georgia, by bringing a 2011 Rolls-Royce Ghost vehicle, the property of Specialty Car Collection, the value of which exceeded $24,999 into the state of Georgia, knowing said property had been stolen in Los Angeles, California. So the question in the interview, which is very interesting that he did the other day, was why would he do A, B, C, D, and E when he was driving these expensive cars? Well, Fulton County just put in the indictment as to how you allegedly got these cars. So this answers the question. The indictment is answering the questions from your interview that you did on the same day that the grand jury actually convened, that you said they were lying about because they only convene every other month, and you called the prosecutor a whole liar when on the same day you called her a liar. So either you knew it happened and you were trying to be, you were just lying to the public, of which I won't be a juror because I am in Michigan, or you just really was getting the wrong information on the grand jury and when they actually convene. But anyway, let's go. Act 12. On or about January 22nd, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of OCGA 16-8-2 in Fulton County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking United States currency of the property of Smith, the value of which was at least $5,000, but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This too was an act of racketeering. On or about February 3rd of 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of grand theft auto in violation of California Penal Code, section 484 and 487 in Los Angeles, California, by feloniously stealing, taking, and driving away a 2008 Fleetwood Providence vehicle, the personal property of Baker. This was an act involving theft with the chargeable under the laws of the state of California, and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, and an act of racketeering activity pursuant to OCGA section 16-14-3. Act 14. On or about February 3rd of 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of making or delivering check with insufficient funds in violation of California Penal Code in Los Angeles, California, by, for himself, willfully, with intent to defraud, making a check in the amount of $20,000 to Baker for the payment of money, knowing at the time of that making that he had not sufficient funds in the bank for the payment of that check, and all other checks then outstanding in full upon its presentation. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of California, and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year. And you guessed it, that is also an act of racketeering. Listen here. I don't know, Sonia, because I know you're watching this. I don't know what documents you were able to get, but I am willing to bet a really high waiver that you did not get a bunch of documents that's going to cover all of these dates and all of these people, because they done reached over there into them jurisdictions that you said that they didn't have jurisdiction of, but we forgot about the RICO Act that lets you go all over because it's an enterprise. That is the crux of a RICO. But let's go on. Act number 15, on or about October. And then y'all called me reckless. This sounds like Mr. Williams was reckless. That's what it sounds like to me. Again, this is just an accusation right now. He is innocent until proven guilty. Now he's going to get all of the discovery. He'll be entitled to it since he's actually been indicted. These are just the white collar crimes. We don't know about the other ones yet. Those are still under pre-indictment. But it's a lot here, Mr. Williams. To call me reckless? I beg to differ. On or about October 13, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of OCGA section 16-8-2 in Henry County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking a Big Tex trailer, the property of Big Tex Trailer World, the value of which was at least $5,000, but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This too is racketeering activity pursuant to Georgia law. Act 16. On or about October 13th, Ernest Williams committed, this is 2018, I'm sorry. Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of deposit account fraud in violation of OCGA section 16-9-20 in Henry County, Georgia, by making, drawing, and delivering check numbers and an instrument for the payment of money on Wells Fargo Bank, a bank located within the state of Georgia, to Big Tex Trailer World in the amount of $9,589.03 for the present consideration of a Big Tex 20PH trailer. Knowing that said check would not be honored by the drawee. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the law of the state of Georgia and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year in an act of racketeering activity pursuant to Georgia law. Act 17. On or about November 15, 2018, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of grand theft in violation of California Penal Code. So you guys remember when California said that they weren't going to come over here and they weren't going to deal with him over there, that if he got out, they weren't going to come and get him. They would release the whole. Well, they just put all of that in this indictment. This was in Orange County, California, by feloniously stealing and taking labor and personal property of Source Motors, Inc., including a fender well rack, Momo, I don't know, steering wheel and adapter, headlight, center console rack, D-ring guard, windshield, brush guard, and mirrors, set the value of which exceeded $950. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the law of the state of California and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year. And it is also an act of racketeering pursuant to Georgia law. Act 18. On or about November 15, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of making or delivering check with the insufficient funds in violation of California Penal Code Section 476A in Orange County, California, by for himself willfully with intent to defraud, making and delivering a check in the amount of $6,361.88. And you want to talk about we are all broke on the internet and you're writing checks for $6,361.88 allegedly, knowing that at the time of the making and delivering that he had not sufficient funds in the bank for the payment of the check and all other checks then outstanding in full upon his presentation. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of California and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year and an act of racketeering under Georgia law. Act 19. On and between January 31st of 2019 and March 27th of 2019, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by taking in Fulton County by unlawfully taking United States currency in a 2012 Ford Transit Connect vehicle, the property of a Sanders, the value of which was at least $5,000 but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering pursuant to Georgia law. Act 20. On or about March 23rd, 2019, Williams committed the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of the law in Cobb County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking a Big Tex 22GN trailer, the property of Big Tex Trailer World, the value of which was at least $5,000 but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering under Georgia law. Act 21. In or about March 23rd of 2019, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of deposit account fraud in violation of OCGA in Cobb County, Georgia, by making, drawing, and delivering check and instrument for the payment of money on a bank to Big Tex Trailer World in the amount of $1,500 or more for the present consideration of a Big Tex 22GN trailer, knowing that said check would not be honored by the drawee. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Georgia, and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, in an act of racketeering activity pursuant to the law. On or about July 24th of 2020 and September 6th, they are alleging you've been busy since you got out of the federal penitentiary, Mr. Williams. On and between July 24, 2020 and September 16, 2020, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by taking, in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking United States currency, the property of a coffin, probably saying the last name wrong, the value of which was at least $5K, but less than $25K, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This too was an act of racketeering pursuant to the law. On or about February 1st. Now, this is the stuff that also has something to do with Erica. What count is this? Act 23. On or about February 1st, 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony of solicited and coerced. That's interesting. Erica King to commit the felony offense of filing false documents in violation of OCGA section 16-10-20.1 in Fulton County, Georgia, by knowingly filing document titled, quote, amended answer defenses and counterclaims in this matter of Vista Ray USA Inc. versus Shirley Strawberry. So this is the eviction case in the magistrate court of Fulton County, Georgia, knowing and having reasons to know that the document was false and contained the materially false statement and representation of the document had been prepared and filed by attorney April Holloway and attorney Nicholas Benzine. This too was an act of racketeering. On or about February 1st, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person in a false document titled amended answer defenses and counterclaims. So the filings that she made as a representative of Shirley Strawberry, those are considered identity fraud, and what's the other one? Filing false documents. That's what the amended answer defense and counterclaim is. This too is racketeering activity under Georgia law. On or about February 1st, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization, using the name of attorney Nicholas Benzine, identifying information concerning a person in a false document titled amended answer defenses and counterclaims filed in Fulton County. This was an act of racketeering activity. Act 26, on or about February 1st of 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person by falsely representing to Judge Todd Ashley that King was attorney April Holloway, while purporting to represent Ernest Williams and Shirley Strawberry in a dispossessory hearing in Fulton County Magistrate Court. And it has the case number. This too was an act of racketeering pursuant to Georgia law. Oh, my. All right. Whew, I gotta take a break. I should have brought something to drink down here. Sheesh. Okay. Miss Dewana, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. You said God did it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Opulent Jade, Ham Pam, you are one. Hey Pam, you are one of my favorites. You are one of my favorites too. Thank you so much for the super chat. PO8 and all the rest of those letters and numbers. Thank you so much. You said thank you, Pammy Pam. Will IS and Hoya. Oh my goodness. In the bushes. Thank you so much for the super chat. Overcomer, thank you for the super chat. You said thank you for your legal expertise. I am unique, said my number one attorney, Pam the Esquire. Hold on to this. I might need you later. Thank you so much for the initial retainer. I am unique. Boss lady, Thank you for the super chat. You said, I hope Dre has to testify about when Nestle told him that he never loved Shirley. Proof of false pretenses. That is interesting. Orlena Roseanne, thank you for the super sticker. Dammy, thank you for the super sticker. Baby Dow, thank you for the super sticker. Opulent Jade, sticky fingers, Nesto. Sticky fingers, Nesto. Sonia's Edges and Onions. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being a member for 1 month. You said, what y'all wearing to the baptism? White kitten heels. Nyla, I'm going to have you come get your people from over here. We're trying to be serious. This isn't hood court over here yet. We're trying to get through these documents. You might have to send them over to your wall over there. Gigi said Ernest is well traveled. He is definitely well traveled according to this. We love what you do, Pam. We needed this real-time update. Do you think most of the charges will prevail? I haven't seen the discovery. I'm learning it just like you do. So I don't know. Minx the Cuted, thank you so much. But I'm assuming a lot of these people testified, right? In front of the grand jury. Sensible Creation said, this is indeed the killing part. Thank you for the super chat. P. Holland said, who's telling a lie now? Is this going to make it to the ghetto law firm? I need some work. The Bold and the Beautiful. Thank you, Pammy. Love you, Pammy. Love you back. Thank you for the super chat. Sonia, you're fired. You guys gonna kick her out of the hood and ghetto law firm? It definitely doesn't sound civil. No, Alice, I don't think so. And that's the thing. They were focusing on what was available. And what did I kept saying? But I get it. You know, it became personal for her where sometimes with people, you may not like my personality, but you can chew the meat and spit out the bones, like the old folks say. And when I said you don't know what they have, you don't know all the information. So to get on there and just think, oh, I got everything, together, and I can go get phone records and I can go do this and that. You didn't have all the information in order to be that confident. And I was like, it's just best to be quiet because you only know what this man tells you. So I wasn't trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just saying with a lot of men, some, especially ones that, allegedly are scammers and have a history of that. As you've seen, they do a lot of that to women and you become vulnerable and you want to believe them. So you only knew a very small, minuscule portion of the alleged evidence that they had. Very small. So you're out here windmilling, ruining your own reputation, and you don't even know you've known this man for 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And that's all I was saying. Just be quiet. We're not going to be on your jury. Most of us aren't anyway. Even if they were in Georgia or Fulton County, I'm pretty sure part of the voir dire will be, have you been watching YouTube? So 9 times out of 10, we're not going to be, I'm not anyway, because I'm not a resident there in Fulton County. But regardless, it just didn't make any sense to me. And I was really trying to be, I wasn't trying, I mean, just like you don't know. Because when I started, of course, I was being biased. I was saying the good, the bad, the ugly, things that I felt wasn't right of him sitting in there. But when you see the length of this, I can see why it would take so long. This is a long indictment. I mean, Trump had like 19 Cody's. I think he had 19 on his case, on his RICO. And his indictment was maybe 90 pages. This is almost half of what it was, and it's only 2 people on there. Just picture that. Imagine that. How much work they had to do for this. A pimp named Nasty Nestle said, ain't passing the soap to no one in the cell block. Sister to sister, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships and welcome to all of the new intellects. Sassy Experience said, every Bentley, every single damn RV, all hot. Well, he said, what I look like, the cars I got. I mean, just was saying that the other day. That's why I couldn't keep watching it. I was like, what? Anyway. Thank you so much. You said, I can't even try to pronounce this, but thank you so much for becoming a YouTube a member over here at the Intellects. I appreciate you. Florida T-Bird said, thank you, Pam. Thank you so much. AJ87, you said, thanks for your efforts. Thank you. Shar Powell said, I know that he hates that song. You'll find him now. I don't know. You know, at least he got somebody. Kathy, darling, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Alan said, thank you, Pam, for your legal analysis and clarity. Thank you for supporting over here. Oh, what a tango weave. Thank you for, I'm sorry. Oh, what a tango web we weave. Thank you so much for becoming an intellect. Is it still civil? I'm ready to cackle for the rest of the day. It's Kimberly 89. Again, even if some of them can be civil, because there is and we haven't gotten to it yet, but you do have at least one person that did sue him civilly. And that person, it ended up turning into a criminal situation because of how it went down with Erica representing to be his attorney. So yeah, you can have some things that are civil and criminal, and that's all I was trying to get her to know. You can't choose whether somebody wants to do approach it from a criminal or a civil matter. You don't got that choice. LA said, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. Chocolate, thank you for the super Pat, you are so generous. I so appreciate this super chat. You said, thanks, you bloggers with ethics and morality. Side hand lie. We're not against Shirley. It's you and Rico Suave, adulterous, scamming, plotting against his wife and numerous victims. This was never Sybil. It was Rico. Shirley Strawberry, continue to be classy and cute. Hashtag we got you. Thank you again. That was very generous and kind of you. I appreciate that. Lamont next, because damn, if he and Nesto didn't brag on the phone about buying Bentleys in LA, all that cold talking, but told us he did talk about him letting him see Bentleys, and he didn't ask him to bring it back, and he just let him go all night with it and all of that good stuff. Wow. Sassy experience. Thank you for keeping your eyes and your ears open on this YouTube street. I appreciate the super chat. Nesto's non-existent dismissal said, thanks for the breakdown, Pam. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get back to the reading because I'll be doing this all day. I appreciate all of the love. Well, what act we on here? Let me go to Act 27, I guess. Let's go to Act 27. On or about February 3rd, 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of filing false documents in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by knowingly filing a document titled Notice of Appeal. So if you guys recall, we went over that whole dispossessory hearing. And yeah, she filed a notice of appeal, and it basically racked up a lot more money. And then Shirley's wages ended up being garnished because of it, and it was like double. So, like for instance, say she would have owed $20,000. By the time they got done playing these shenanigans up in the court, it was $40,000. And you also have to acknowledge Ernest has not denied on even in his interview that Erica represented him. He just, I guess, is alleging he thought she was an actual attorney. But anyway, so it has the case number, and this occurred in the Magistrate Court of Fulton County, Georgia, knowing and having reason to know that the document was false and contained a materially false statement and representation that the document had been prepared and filed by attorney April Holloway and attorney Nicholas Benzine. This was an act of racketeering under Georgia law. On or about February 3rd, 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of Georgia law in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person in a false document titled Notice of Appeal. This too is racketeering pursuant to Georgia law. Act 29. On or about February 3rd, 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney Nicholas Benzine, as identifying information concerning a person in a false document titled. So on these notice of appeals, She got false filings because these weren't the actual people. And then also that's identity fraud because you put someone else's name. And I know one of them, I don't know about Nicholas Benzine, but I know Holloway is an actual attorney because they reached out to her. And so that's identity fraud for obvious reasons. Act 30. On or about March 15, 2021, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of unlawfully taking a 2020 Harley Davidson vehicle. So this is the one also, and you guys are going to see, this is from Delaney, the value of which exceeded $24,999.99 with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. Now with Delaney, she did sue him in civil court. And guess who represented him? We'll see that in a minute. On or about March 15, 2021, Ernest Williams committed, this is Act 31, the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of OCGA 16-8-2 in Fulton County by unlawfully taking a big tex trailer from Delaney, the value of which was at least $5,000 but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This too was an act of racketeering under Georgia law. Act 32. On or about March 24th of 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of false statement in writing in violation of the law in Fulton County by knowingly and willfully making the false statements to Sandy Springs Police Department Detective Tomlin that King was attorney April Holloway. So you said, okay, wait a minute. Let me finish reading this. Then we're going to. That King was attorney April Holloway, and that King was an attorney who lawfully represented Ernest Williams during a criminal investigation being conducted by Tomlin, said statements being within the jurisdiction of Sandy Springs Police Department. So you cannot say, sir, now, you cannot say you did not know that that was not, because you put down, according to this, you put down that it was Natalie, what this lady's name is? Holloway, April Holloway. You put down that it was April Holloway, and you allegedly told this detective in Sandy Springs that April Holloway was your attorney, but you knew it was Erica King. So there goes that one right out the door. Like that's done. That argument, I want to say. Because the argument was, I didn't know she wasn't an attorney. Well, you knew she was using April Holloway, and she wasn't using Erica King, which you knew was her name. So here's another incident that we did not know about, but people are out here windmilling on these streets. All I said, and everybody got mad at me, was just be quiet. We don't know everything that they're doing. Because what probably was happening, this is what I suspect. And of course, I don't have any, information on whether that's true or false. But I suspect that, wait a minute. I suspect that what ended up happening was they started doing this investigation, and every time they was probably ready to indict something, they learned something else, or someone probably led them to something else. That's probably what took so long. That's what I suspect, because these are a lot of different people and a lot of different entities that they're alleging. Act 32. Okay, that's the one I just read. So that is lying to the detective allegedly about Erica King being April Holloway, who is your attorney, when they were investigating you in 2021 for a crime. Act 33, on or about March 24, 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently without authorization and consent using the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person by falsely representing to Sandy Springs Police Department. Detective I. Tomlin, in a three-way telephone conversation with Ernest Williams, that King was attorney April Holloway while purporting to represent Ernest Williams during a criminal investigation being conducted. That too is a violation of Georgia racketeering law. Act 34, on or about April 1st of 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of OCGA 16-9-121 in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person, by falsely representing the Sandy Springs Police Department Detective I. Tomlin in a one-on-one telephone conversation. That King was attorney April Holloway while purporting to represent Ernest Williams during a criminal investigation being conducted by Tomlin. This too was an act of racketeering under Georgia law. Act 35. On and between April 5th of 2021 and April 9th of 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person, by falsely representing the Sandy Springs Police Department Detective Tomlin in email communications that King was his attorney April Holloway, while purporting to represent Ernest Williams during criminal investigation being conducted by Tomlin. This too is racketeering under Georgia law. On or about August 15th, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by taking, in violation of Georgia law, by unlawfully taking the 1998 pre-votes from Bickham, the value of which exceeded $24,999, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This too was an act of racketeering under Georgia law. Act 37. On or about August 15, 2021, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by taking, in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLE vehicle, the property of Bickham, the value which exceeded $24,999, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to Georgia law. Act 38, on or about November 21st of 21, Williams committed the felony offense of theft by service over there in Fulton County by knowingly obtaining vehicle repair services which were available only for compensation, the value of which was at least $15,001 but less than $5,000 from Palmer Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram by deception and with intent to avoid payment. This too was an act of racketeering pursuant to Georgia law. Act 39. On or about, you guys with me? Make sure you guys are with me. On or about November 21st, 2021, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced unindicted co-conspirator individual 1, whose identity is known to the grand jury, to commit the felony offense of deposit account fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by making, drawing, and delivering check number 212, an instrument for the payment of money, on Navy Federal Credit Union, a bank located within the state of Georgia, at Palmer Dodge, in the amount of $2774.40 for the present consideration of vehicle repair service, knowing that said check would not be honored by the drawee. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Georgia and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than a year, and an act of racketeering activity pursuant to Georgia law. So this is talking about an unindicted co-conspirator individual 1. Act 40. On or about December 1st, 2021, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of financial transaction card fraud in violation of the law in Bartow County, Georgia. My gosh. By which intent to defraud Precinct 1 auto sales and scratching, obtaining goods and services of a value of $2,000 by giving orally and in writing a MasterCard financial transaction and card account number ending in 8161 to Precinct 1 Auto Sales, the provider of the goods and services for billing purposes without the authorization and permission of Ms. Scratchen, the cardholder for such use. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to Georgia law. On or about December 1st of 2021, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using a MasterCard of Ms. Scratchen, identifying information concerning a person for an unauthorized purchase in the amount of $2,000 in Precinct 1 Auto Sales, Inc. This too was an act of racketeering under the law. Act 42. On or about December 1st of 21, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of financial transaction card fraud in Gwinnett County by with intent to defraud Larsa's Trucks Inc. and scratching, obtaining goods and services of a value of $1,071.12 by giving orally and in writing a Visa financial transaction card account ending in to Larsa's Trucks Inc., the provider of the goods and services for billing purposes without the authorization and permission of Ms. Gretchen, the cardholder for such use. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to Georgia law. Act 43. On December 1st, 2021, it's on or about December 1st, 2021, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County by willfully and fraudulently without authorization and consent using another Visa credit card belonging to Mr. Scretchen, identifying information concerning a person for an unauthorized purchase in the amount of $1,071.12 at Lara's Trucks Inc. This too was an act of racketeering under Georgia law. Act 44. On or about December 2nd, 2021, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of financial transaction card fraud in violation of Georgia law in Gwinnett County by with intent to defraud Lara's Trucks Inc. and scratching, obtaining goods and services of value for $800 by giving orally and in writing a Visa financial transaction card account in Lara's Trucks Inc., the provider of the goods and services for billing purposes without the authorization and permission of Ms. Gretchen, the cardholder for such use. This too was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to the law. On or about December 2nd, 2021, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia by willfully and fraudulently without authorization and consent using another Visa card for Ms. Gretchen, identifying information concerning a person for an unauthorized purchase, the amount of $800 at Lara's Truck. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to Georgia law. Act 46. December 2nd, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of financial transaction card fraud in violation of the law in Gwinnett by with intent to defraud Lara's Truck and Melody, obtaining goods and services of value of $1,000 by giving orally and in writing a MasterCard financial transaction card account number to Lara's Truck, the provider of the goods and services for billing purposes without the authorization and permission of Melody Scratching, the cardholder for such use. This was an act of racketeering. Oh my gosh. On December 2nd, Ernest Williams committed, this is Act 47. On or about December 2nd of 21, Williams committed the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of Georgia law in Fulton County, Georgia by willfully and fraudulently without authorization took the MasterCard, again belonging to Ms. Gretchen, identifying information concerning a person for an unauthorized purchase in the amount of $1,000 at Lara's Truck. On December 4th of 2021, this is Act 48, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of financial transaction card fraud in violation of the law in Gwinnett County with intent to defraud Lara's Truck and Melody, obtaining goods and services value of $1,000 by giving orally and in writing a Visa financial transaction card account number at Lara's Trucks Inc., the provider of the goods and services for billing purposes without the authorization and permission of Ms. Gretchen, the cardholder for such use. This too is a violation of Georgia's racketeering law. Act 49. On or about December 4th, 2021, Williams committed a felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia by willfully and fraudulently without authorization and consent using a Visa card belonging to Ms. Gretchen, identifying information concerning a person for an unauthorized purchase in the amount of $1,000. Oh, goodness, this was an act of racketeering pursuant to the law. Between January 1st of 2022 and January 31st of 2022. So this was like 5 months before he was arrested. The exact date being known to the grand jury, Ernest Williams did commit the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of Georgia law in Fulton County by unlawfully taking a Nissan Altima vehicle, which is the property of Ms. Gretchen, the value of which was at least $5,000 but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was too an act of racketeering under Georgia law. So this right here is the second court hearing of which Erica King represented Williams in a civil hearing. So I want you to listen real closely. This is for Sonia. Listen real closely that there was a point where people were trying to handle this civilly. And we about to see how this turned to a criminal, even though it was criminal too. If this is true, it would still be criminal. But this is the type of stuff that ended up where even if it could have been handled civilly, it still would have been a criminal component to it. Just even assuming what you're saying is that all of this, which I don't believe, with all of these different counts and stuff, I can see why they would say it's criminal instead of civil, because it was just too many alleged transactions. But you're going to see exactly why there's a February 7th date for Erica and Ernest. And this is Act 51. On or about February 7th of 2022, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of filing false document in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by knowingly filing a document titled Notice of Appearance and Substitution of Counsel in the matter of Delaney versus Ernesto Williams. Has the case number in the Magistrate Court of Fulton County, Georgia, knowing and having reason to know that the document was false and contained a materially false statement and the representation that the document had been prepared and filed by attorney April Holloway. This was an act of racketeering. So April Holloway became the go-to name. There's no way, in my opinion, that you did not know that Erica King and April Holloway were not the same people. Act 52. On or about February 7, 2022, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of Georgia law in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person in a false document titled Notice of Appearance and Substitution of Counsel, filed in Fulton County Magistrate Court. This, too, was an act of racketeering under Georgia law. Act 53. On or about February 7th, 2022, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of the law in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person by falsely representing to Judge Ashley Drake that King was attorney April Holloway while purporting to represent Ernest Williams in a warrant application hearing in Fulton County Magistrate Court. This case, too, was an act of racketeering activity. On or between March 28, 2022 and April 17th, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by taking. And this was from somebody whose last name is Mays, the value of which exceeded $24,999, and this is U.S. currency, with the intent of depriving said owner of said property. This too was racketeering under Georgia law. On May 4th, now this is literally a couple months before he's about to get arrested. On or about May 4th of 2022, Ernest Williams did commit the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of the law in Forsyth County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking a 2021 Harley-Davidson property of A. Washington, the value of which exceeded $24,999, with the intention of depriving an owner of said property. So allegedly, you took a couple of Harley-Davidsons from some women. That's what's being alleged. Act 56. On or about June 10, 2022, Ernest Williams solicited and coerced Erica King to commit the felony offense of identity fraud in violation of law in Fulton County, Georgia, by willfully and fraudulently, without authorization and consent, using the name attorney Eileen Moorman. So we got another attorney. On June 10th, 2022, identifying information concerning a person in a fraudulent demand letter addressed to Mark Kroll, while purporting to represent Black Heritage Radio Association Trust. So allegedly, Erica King was trying to write the owner of that property that he claims. I don't know how they got their names. I don't know anything about that. So allegedly, there was a demand letter to the owner while purporting to represent Black Heritage Radio Association Trust, which is, I guess, supposed to be, I don't know if that's owned by Shirley, one of her businesses. I don't know. But anyway, this too is an act of racketeering pursuant to Georgia law, Act 57, on or about June 30th, 2022. So we about 7 days before he gets arrested now. About 7 days. Y'all, this is a lot. On or about June 30th, 2022, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by taking in violation of Georgia law in Fulton County by unlawfully taking a 2002 Prevost Liberty vehicle, which is the property of Bickham, the value of which exceeded $24,999, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to Georgia law. Count 2 of 39. So that was count 1. Okay, guys, those were all of the overt acts for the RICO. All right. Let me see where I left off over here. Thank you so much, Orchard, for the super sticker. Victor Vale said Erica sang Jennifer Hudson style with all the extra holler and everything. She was hitting Mariah high notes in there for soda and chicken legs. Thank you for the super chat. Nestos Rico just became a member. Thank you and welcome to the Intellects. We got an attorney on deck. Thank you, Pam. Thank you so much, his Pierce, for coming over here. I appreciate that and for supporting. TMKC became an intellect. Welcome. Miss B's Corner has been a member for 6 months. Thank you for your continual support. And you said, thanks, Pam. You are the best. Shay B said, is someone peddling for dollars in the comments? Flutter by, thank you for becoming an intellect. Is there anything a legal Bonitail can get locked up for? She has crossed the line so many times. I am sick of her. Call me darling. I'm just sitting back. I'm not. This is above me now. I'm just reporting. I'm just reporting out here. See, we were sitting up here talking about who he was married to and how long he been married to and all of that. And I would be careful. That's all that's all I'm gonna say about that, because yeah, people really need to be careful. They really do. Cable TV cancel. New description. Pam Esquire. Thank you, Vancy, for being an intellect for a month. I appreciate that. I'm here for the show. Thank you for the super chat. Pam, y'all know they stole his passport. Dang. Well, he won't be using no passport. He did say they stole. Didn't he say somebody stole his passport identity or something? I don't remember. Thank you so much, Worldwide Collaboration, for the super chat. DMV 7811, thank you for the super sticker. Catching up on the replay. Love vibing with grown and bougie intellects. Do your thing, Pammy Pat. Thank you, XOXO Candy. I appreciate you. Fran, thank you so much for becoming an intellect. Do H&G have RICO attorneys? It is the Mac and, yep, it would be Mac and Bewick. You must be from the 313. Thank you so much for Juniper Siege for the super chat. KK Scorpio, thank you for the super chat. Silva, hello, I could hear you. I don't know what they're thinking right now, but hey, it's what happens when you jump the gun. Shinda Chisholm, thank you for becoming a member. T Rain, thank you for gifting the 5 memberships, and welcome to all of the new intellects that were the recipients of it. And make sure you thank those that give you those memberships. Tracy Wardick, thank you for the super sticker. K Scorpio, correction, Sylvia, I have to get my facts together. Thank you for the super chat. Nesto is the ultimate rabbit hole. Thank you again, KK Scorpio. At work and joining late. Thanks for the expertise. If you don't make judge, CNN should be calling child. I'm not. After I did that hood and ghetto court, it's a wrap. I think I just sealed the deal. I won't be running for judge. But thank you so much for believing in me. because I'll probably be on YouTube instead. Patrina, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, Nestle's non-existent dismissal, for gifting 5 memberships. I can't believe this is not on national news. Oh, I think it's gonna start. It's gonna, because when you look at it, didn't I say that he kind of gives you that Tinder swindler vibe, like a while ago, where I said it was that's the crazy part. I said I felt like he married. And I hate to say that because no woman wants to feel like they're used, but let's just be clear, many have been. um that it was the being allowed to be in those circles and giving you access to people that you would not be able to have access to. Because I mean, come on. Nestor is technically in his retirement home. It's fine. It's looking rough. Does Nestor stay in that jail he is in? He will until he goes to trial. If he is found guilty, then he'll go to prison. If he's not found guilty, then of course he'll be released. He used everybody. Nestle team, what say you? That's what I need to know. Because these are a whole lot of dates. I just want to know what bank statements and phone records you got. First of all, you're not getting phone records back from 2009. I don't care who you try to contact. So that's a done deal when it comes to that. But like, and then if he has stuff in California and other states, then I'm pretty sure you didn't get access to all, you being Sonia. You didn't get access to all of these different places. First of all, he probably never even gave you all the places that he had in Georgia, let alone in other states that he deposited money or withdrew money from, or email addresses. I mean, I knew that he probably didn't give her all of it in the first place. But now some of these dates you wouldn't be able to go back anyway. Erica singing like a bird. Well, Erica, when the we'll go over that in a different live. But yeah, I got a little bit of information on that. I think Erica talked in the beginning, I believe, somewhat. CIS prayed over him and the floodgates open. Fly Girl 787, thank you for the super chat. It's the earn in his name for me. 504, thank you for the super chat. All of that and that F-350 still needed tires. KK Scorpio. Well, apparently he didn't use the cards to fix it, allegedly. He's going down the road to live out his days. Thank you, CCB, for the super chat. Dre, don't let IS pray over you. Run, Dre, run. YouTube user, why is his name spelled with an A instead of an E? His name is spelled several different ways. So I don't know. Tony Smith, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Welcome to all of the new intellects. Well, IS should realize Satan blesses you too. Miss Fine One, that's a word. Thank you for the super chat. YSSD is the punishment for each count on this indictment. 1 year. He does the trials. Convicted, is it likely the sentence will run concurrently? They got a lot of questions. YSSD. First of all, he is a habitual. So therefore, there would be added consequences because he is a habitual. All they say is more than 1 year. Some of these counts carry more than 1 year. Racketeering, what is that, like 20 years or something? Somebody look that up for me. I'm not sure, but I believe it's about 20 years. Y'all, Dre up in Canada pulling the load. He's smart. Thank you so much, V Love. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Y'all got me working today. June's Poetry, thank you for gifting 5 membership. Dee, thank you for the super sticker. You said happy indictment day to all those who celebrate. Miss Rose, that was really mean. Don't do that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Allie McHenry became a member. Thank you, Allie. 504. Thank you for becoming an intellect. Thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I appreciate that. VIP lady on a jail call. Nestle said, I'm never getting out. Well, sometimes, what do they say? The power of life and death is in your tongue. That's Bible. That is Bible. Pam, you rock. You are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate those kind words, Lady Ella. Thank you for the super chat. Wanda, thank you for the super sticker. I am that. Welcome. Welcome. Ray Mel said, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Michelle K, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, Allie, for gifting 5 memberships. I can't wait for part 2 of Nestle interview. He's going to be extra tight. You think he's still doing the interview? You guys think he's still going to do it? I don't think he's going to do it. Purely CJ, thank you for the super chat. Leo Lady, you said glad to be a part of Law Intellects. I'm glad you're here as well. Thank you for becoming a member, DDS Mom. Can Nesto still deal if Erica has already sung for a deal? Any deals are up to the prosecutor. And how bad do they really need Erica? I mean, they have her on video. Like they have her on Zoom videos. So yeah. Pam, thank you for the excellent reading of the docs. IS will still be trying to pronounce words that act. Patrice, thank you for the super chat. But geez. Katoya, thank you for the super chat. Queen Triplets Grandma, thank you for the super chat. Miss Joy, you said thank you. You complete the circle of greatness. Thank you. Shay B, thank you. You said God love, still in here, hustling and peddling. Shay B, thank you so much for the super sticker. Miss Fine, thank you for becoming a member. I think that's everybody for now. Okay. So let's get on with it. We are on. It's 3,200 of you guys. Please make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you're just coming in, we are going over the indictment of Ernest Williams. These are just the financial crimes. There are still, I believe, 2 open pre-indictment cases, assuming they will probably go before a grand jury as well. But these are the financial crimes. And we are only on count 2 because it took, 20 pages to go over the racketeering with all of the alleged acts. So count 2. And the grand jury aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams with the offense of false swearing for the said accused in Fulton County on or about December 16th, unlawfully having been administered a lawful oath and having executed a document knowing that it purported to be an acknowledgement of a lawful oath, knowingly and willfully made the false statement that each of Ernest Williams' prior marriages had been dissolved by divorce, and that Ernest Williams was not subject to any legal impediment or other reason Ernest Williams should not be married. Said false statement having been made in Marriage License App, it got the number, filed in the probate court of Fulton County, Georgia, a matter other than a judicial proceeding, and said crime was unknown until at least April 12th, 2024. April. So she didn't know that till April 12th, 2024. And that's why she filed on the 17th. Is that what's happening right now? Okay, I'm going to read that again. Filed in the probate of Fulton County, a matter other than a judicial proceeding, and said crime was unknown until at least April 12th of 2024. Unknown by who? Okay, let me move on. Count 3 of 39. And the grand juror aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams with the offense of filing false documents for the said accused in Fulton County, Georgia, on or about December 16th of 2014, unlawfully and knowingly caused to be filed, entered, and recorded a document titled Marriage License with the app number in the probate court of Fulton County, Georgia, knowing and having reason to know that the document was false and contained the materially false statements that each of Ernest Williams' prior marriages had been dissolved by divorce, and that Ernest Williams was not subject to any legal impediment or other reason Ernest Williams should not be married, and said crime was unknown until at least April 12, 2024, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. So you mean like Chronicle Speaks knew it before everybody else did? I knew before everybody else. Is that what they saying? Oh my. Count 4 of 39. And the grand juror aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams with the offense of bigamy. For the said accused in Fulton County, Georgia, on or about January 9, 2015, unlawfully while being married to Martha Halliburton Williams. But I told y'all with that divorce paper with Martha, they didn't get filed till 2021. And knowing that his lawful spouse was living, married Shirley Clark Strawberry and carried on a bigamous cohabitation with Shirley Clark Strawberry, and said crime was unknown until at least April 12, 2024, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. So that means Shirley just found out? What? My. Real talk, but Shirley said I didn't know my marriage was not valid until April 2024. Thank you. Thank you, Bougie. I don't know. That's kind of baffling me because we've been talking about this for a little bit there because see, I got the divorce document and it was kind of baffling me with that divorce document because I showed you guys Martha didn't divorce him until 2021, right? And I know that the first marriage, I know Chronicle Speaks was talked to the first wife, and she says she never divorced him allegedly, but we couldn't find any divorce papers on that, or she didn't, because I think Chronicle Speaks basically she was the one that did a lot of research on that and was talking to the person. But with Martha, I found that it was 21. But when I was looking at it, it was almost like Martha was trying to sneak and do the divorce because she put it in the paper like she couldn't find him. And it was like, he's married to Shirley Strawberry. Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't know where he is? Because that's what she was saying in there, that she didn't know who he was, where he was. She hadn't seen him. She's had diligence trying to find him. All that was like in her request because it wasn't a formalistic thing where she went to court or filed divorce where it would have been like paperwork going to the house or any of that. She made it like she couldn't find him. So she did it by publication. I just You said that's Edith. Reggie says she knows. Mississippi Monica told her a long time ago. That's Reggie. That's not me, Shirley. I'm not charging you with knowledge. I'm just going by what they saying over here. That's it. I'm just reading this here indictment. 504 says Shirley didn't even know how many grandkids he had. Yeah, because my understanding is, again, this is alleged, but my understanding was that he names people as his daughter to keep them around like that, but they're really not his daughter. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's kind of the information that I heard. So it's alleged. 5 marriages, 3 divorces. Yeah, that's the math ain't mathing. Bougie, the math ain't mathing. I'm with you, sis. Okay, let's move on. So that is the Shirley Strawberry portion of it. Count 5 of 39. And the grand jury aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizen of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams with the offense of theft by taking for the said accused in Fulton County on or between January 31st of 2019 and March 27th, unlawfully took United States currency in a 2012 Ford Transit Connect vehicle by Sanders. So a lot of these counts are just individually charging him for what are acts within the RICO. So count 6 has to do with taking from Coffin the value which was at least 5,000 but less than 25 with the intention of depriving the owner of the property. So that was count 6. Count 7, and the grand jury in the name and behalf of citizens of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams and Erica King, so this is both of them, with the offense of conspiracy to commit an authorized practice of law for the said accused individually and as persons concerned in the commission of a crime in Fulton County, Georgia, on and between February 1st of 21 and March 18th of 21, unlawfully conspired to cause Erica King, a person not duly licensed attorney at law, to practice and appear as an attorney at law for Williams before the magistrate court in Fulton County to hold herself out to Judge Ashley as being entitled to practice law and to render legal services in Fulton County Magistrate Court with the case number. And Erica King, a person not duly licensed attorney at law, did practice and appear as an attorney of law for Ernest Williams before the Magistrate Court of Fulton County, Georgia, did hold herself out to Judge Ashley as being entitled to practice law and did render legal services in Fulton County Magistrate Court with the case number, which were overt acts to affect the object of the conspiracy, and said crime was unknown until at least June 10th of 2022, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Count 8 of 39. And the grand juror aforesaid in the name and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams and Erica King with the offense of filing false documents. And again, that is about the amended answer and defenses and counterclaims in the dispossession hearing related to Shirley Strawberry. Count 9, we're going to, short circuit this. We have, more than halfway through, but some of this stuff, again, we went over all of the acts under the RICO, right? So every single act that he's done is being, the way it looks, is being covered under the RICO, but then they're also charging him individually for each crime as well. So that's what we're going through now. Count 9 of 39. And the grand juror aforesaid in the name of behalf of the citizens of Georgia do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams and Erica King individually and as persons concerned in the commission of a crime in Fulton County on or about February 1st of 2021. Remember how they talking about, well, how could he do this on February 2021? Because this is supposed to be the same day that they had the SA charges. I thought that was the craziest argument. Like, you don't have 24 hours in a day. And you do these hearings on Zoom. Anyway, unlawfully, willfully, and fraudulently without authorization and consent, use the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person in the false document, which is amended answer, defense, and counterclaim. And that was filed in Fulton County. Count 10. This is Erica and Ernest again. February 1st had to do with the answer. It's identity fraud. And it has to do with using those attorneys' names on those documents. Count 11 of 39. And the grand jury in the name and behalf of the citizen of Georgia, Ernest and Erica, again, February 1st. This is again identity fraud. Erica King was purporting to be April Holloway while purporting to represent Williams and Shirley Strawberry in a dispossessory hearing in Fulton County. So that's the Shirley Strawberry dispossessory hearing. Count 12. And the grand jury on behalf of the citizens of Georgia, this is Ernest and Erica again, filing false documents. And this was February 3rd. This was again the notice of appeal for Shirley Strawberry, which was like crazy because, like I said, when he filed the notice of appeal, they tacked on more money. Like, she had to pay for that and her wages got garnished. Like, all of that stuff was filed on the docket when they garnished her wages for like some astronomical amount. It was probably like 35, 40,000 or something around there. So this is again representing the document had been prepared and filed by attorney April Holloway and attorney Nicholas Benzine, contrary to the laws of the state. Count 13, Ernest and Erica again, identity fraud. This is February 3rd, unlawful of 2021, unlawfully, willfully, and fraudulently without authorization and consent. Use the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person in a false document on the notice of appeal. Count 14, Erica and Ernest again with identity fraud. On February 3rd, unlawfully, willfully, and fraudulently without authorization and consent, use the name of attorney Nicholas Benzine on identifying information concerning a person in false document titled Notice of Appeal. And that was over there in Fulton County Magistrate Court. Count 15, Ernest Williams, and the offense of theft by taking for said accused in Fulton County, Georgia on March 15, 2021 by taking Delaney's Harvey Davidson. So that's count 15. Count 16 is again theft by taking pursuant to Georgia law over there in Fulton County. And this is unlawfully taking the Big Tex trailer, which was the property of Delaney, the value of which was 5K, but less than 25K, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property, contrary to the laws of the state. Count 17, we had Ernest and Erica again. And this is conspiracy to commit unauthorized practice of law for the said accused individually and as persons concerned in the commission of a crime in Fulton County and in between March 24th of 21 and April 5th of 21, unlawfully conspired to cause Erica King, a person not a duly licensed attorney at law, to hold herself out to Sandy Springs Police Department Detective Tomlin as being entitled to practice law and to render legal services during a criminal investigation being conducted by Tomlin. So when he got into criminal troubles, he would say, "Yo, Erica, I'm gonna need you to be my attorney." And she was like, "I got you, Ernie. I got you, Nesto." And she would go in and change your name and say she's an attorney at law. So what I believe probably started happening is when they found out the first time that she allegedly did this, they started looking to look at all the times he had to appear at court for whatever reason. And then they would probably ask the alleged victim, like Delaney. I know in her case, they asked her to look at the Zoom video from when she did the she did the Shirley Strawberry dispossessory hearing. Was like, is this the person that showed up when you sued him for taking your property? And she was like, yep, that sure is. That is. And that is essentially how they ended up catching that charge for the unauthorized practice of law when it came to that. And Erica King, a person not duly licensed attorney at law, did hold herself out to Sandy Springs Police Department Detective Tomlin as being entitled to practice law and did render legal services during criminal investigation being conducted by Tomlin, which were overt acts to affect the object of the conspiracy, and said crime was unknown until at least June 10th of 2022. So a little less than a month after he was arrested is when they found this out. Contrary to the laws of said state, in good order, peace, and dignity. Count 18, Ernest and Erica again for false statements. And this is again related to Detective Tomlin and Erica King acting like she was April Holloway and that she was lawfully allowed to practice and to represent Ernest, which was a lie. Count 19 is Ernest and Erica again. This is identity fraud. And this again was her acting as if she was attorney April Holloway while purporting to represent Ernest Williams during a criminal investigation conducted by the Detective Tomlin. Count 20. Ernest Williams and Erica King again. Identity fraud. And this was for April 1st, 2021, unlawfully, willfully, and fraudulently without authorization and consent, used the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person by falsely representing to Sandy Springs Police. So this has to do with Tomlin on a one-on-one telephone conversation with that Erica King was attorney April Holloway while purporting to represent Ernest. Count 21. Between April 5th of 21 and April 9th, so this is again with detective. This is identity fraud. And this was an email communication where Erica King said she was attorney April Holloway while they were investigating over there in Sandy Springs some alleged criminal activity involving Ernest Williams, and that was a lie. Count 22 of 39. Theft by taking. Hereby charges and accused Ernest Williams with the offense of theft by taking and said accused in Fulton County on August 15 of 2021 by unlawfully took the 1998 Prevost Royale that belonged to Bickham. Then we have Ernest Williams with the offense of theft by taking. This is count 23 of Georgia law. For the said accused in Fulton County on August 15th, 2021, unlawfully took a 21 Mercedes-Benz GLE, which is the property of Bickham. The value exceeded 25K, well, 24,99999, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. Count 24. And the grand jurors aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia do charge with the theft of services. So that had to do with Dodge Chrysler Ram by giving them the, check for repairs that didn't quite clear. Count 25 of 39, and the grand jury has indicted Ernest Williams with the offense of deposit account fraud. For the said accused individually and as a person concerned in the commission of crime, and together with unindicted co-conspirator individual one, whose identity is known to the grand jury in Fulton County, Georgia, on November 21st, 21, unlawfully made, drew, and delivered the check number 212, an instrument for the payment of the money on Navy Federal Credit Union, a bank located within the state of Georgia, the Palmer Dodge. This was a check that had no money behind it. That too is a crime over there in Georgia, and it got him count 25. Count 26, the grand jury said Ernest Williams had another identity fraud, said that he's accused of, on December 1st, 2021, unlawfully, willfully, and fraudulently without authorization using Scretchen's credit card for $2,000. Count 27, December 1st of 21, accused of identity fraud using Scretchen's information, credit cards, and all of that in the amount of $1,071.12 over at Lair's Trucks. We went through a lot of these over in the RICO charge, so I'm just going to paraphrase. Count 28, and the grand jury in Georgia has charged Ernest Williams with identity fraud. This happened over there in Fulton County, December 2nd of 2021, and it related to Scretchen. Basically, he allegedly was unauthorized to purchase something in the amount of $800 over there at Laird Truck, and that is a crime over there in Georgia. The grand jury now has indicted Ernest Williams with the offense of identity fraud over there in Fulton County for December 2nd, 2021, unlawfully, willfully, and fraudulently without authorization and consent, used a MasterCard that again belonged to Scretchen and purchased some stuff for $1,000 at Lair's Trucks, contrary to the law, because he didn't have permission, allegedly. Count 30 of this here indictment, the grand jurors said, the grand jurors, aforesaid in the same behalf of citizens of Georgia, do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams with the offense of identity fraud. And this allegedly occurred on December 4, 2021, by unlawfully and willfully using a Visa card that belonged to Miss Scretchen, identifying information concerning a person for an unauthorized purchase in the amount of $1,000, again to Lara Trucks. What is that, like a car parts plates or something? Ernest Williams with the offense of theft by taking. For the said accused, Fulton County, this is count 31 for those of you that are keeping up, between January 1st, 2022 and January 31st of 2022, the exact date being unknown to the grand jury, unlawfully took a 2018 Nissan Altima vehicle, the property of Melody Scretchen, the value of which was at least $5,000, but less than $25,000, with the intention to deprive said owner of said property, contrary to the law. That was against the law, okay? That's what they're saying. Count 32, Ernest Williams and Erica King with the offense of conspiracy to commit unauthorized practice of law for the said accused individually and as a person concerned in the commission of a crime in Fulton County, Georgia on February 7, 2022, unlawfully conspired to cause Erica King, a person not duly licensed attorney at law, to practice and appear as an attorney of law for Ernest Williams before the magistrate court of Fulton County, Georgia. And again, this was that civil case with Delaney when she was trying to sue him civilly because he allegedly took her motorcycle and her trailer. So that's that. Count 33. In the name and behalf of citizens of Georgia, do hereby charge the accused Ernest Williams and Erica King with the offense of filing false documents. This was the notice of appearance in the Delaney case again. Count 34, the grand jury said Ernest and Erica should be charged with identity fraud. For they said that Ernest Williams and Erica fraudulently, without authorization and consent, used the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person in false document titled Notice of Appearance and Substitution of Counsel. And it was filed in Fulton County Magistrate Court in that Delaney matter that civil matter that people wanted to happen. Again, here is count 35. And again, this is Williams and King. It's identity fraud. For the said accused individual and as persons concerned the commission of a crime in Georgia on February 7th of 2022, unlawfully, willfully, and fraudulently without authorization and consent, used the name of attorney April Holloway, identifying information concerning a person by falsely representing to the judge. Erica King was attorney April Holloway while purporting to represent Williams in a warrant application hearing in Fulton County Magistrate Court, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia. Count 36. And the grand jury, in the name and behalf of citizens of Georgia, do hereby and accuse Ernest Williams with the offense of theft by taking. This allegedly occurred on March 28, 2022, and April 17th of 2022, who it is alleged that money was taken from a maze, the value which exceeded $24,999.99, with the intention of depriving the owner of said property contrary to the laws of the state. Count 37 of 39. We are reaching the ends of this document here. The grand jury, in the name and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do hereby charge and cause Ernest Williams and Erica King with the offense of conspiracy to commit unauthorized practice of law for the said accused individually and as persons concerned in the commission of a crime in Fulton County on or about June 10th, 2022. This was a little less than 30 days from his arrest. Unlawfully conspired to cause Erica King, a person not a duly licensed attorney at law, to hold herself out to Mark Crow, who is the owner of that property where all of this stuff started, as being entitled to practice law and to render legal services by sending a fraudulent demand letter to Mark Crow while purporting to represent Black Heritage Radio Association and Trust. I wonder what that demand letter was looking like, because what are you demanding if you haven't paid rent? What exactly are you demanding? And Erica King, a person not duly licensed attorney at law, did hold herself out to Mark Crow as being entitled to practice law and did render legal services by sending fraudulent demand letter to Mark Crow while purporting to represent Black Heritage Radio Association Trust, which will overt acts to affect the object of the conspiracy contrary to the law of said state. Count 38. And the grand juror, after said in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams and Erica King with the offense of identity fraud for the June 10th, 2022, unlawfully, willfully, and fraudulently without authorization and consent, using the name of attorney Eileen Mormon, identifying information concerning a person in a fraudulent demand letter addressed to Mark Crow while purporting to represent Black Heritage Radio Association Trust, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Okay, let's see. Oh, got Fanny. What do we call her? Fannie Mae. She's at the end. Count 39. And the grand jurors, after said in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do hereby charge and accuse Ernest Williams with the offense of theft by taking of, on June 30th, 2022, unlawfully took a 2002 Prevost Liberty vehicle, which is the property of Bickham, the value which exceeded $24,999.99, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. And further, as the offenses charged in the indictment, the period in which a prosecution must be commenced must be commenced under OCGA section 17-3-1 and other applicable statute does not include the dates beginning March 14, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021, pursuant to the Supreme Court of Georgia order declaring statewide judicial emergency issued on March 14, 2020. Basically, there was a tolling period because of COVID. And subsequent orders extending declarations of statewide judicial emergency issued on April 6th, May 11th, June 12th, July 10th, August 11th, September 10th, October 10th, November 9th, and December 9th, 2020, and January 8th, February 7th, March 9th, April 8th, May 8th, and June 7th of 2021. And it is signed Madam Fannie T. Willis, District Attorney, or as Nesto calls her, Fannie Mae. And that is the end of the indictment. Thank you guys so much for being over here for almost 2 hours while I read this long indictment. You said Nesto, wait a minute. Fly girl, thank you for the super chat. You said Nesto gonna say he thought he was an MF and gangster. Listen. Misty Lane, thank you for the super sticker. Love shop. I had to become a member because you are awesome. Thank you so much. Love to shop 1212. I appreciate that. I have zero voice right now. Make it make sense. Nesto gonna say he can't read, write, or arithmetic, so he can't have had no false documents. He don't have a ring, so it's no proof he was ever, you know what. Leave it to Mims. Leave it to Mims. Thank you, Mims, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Dark and Lovely became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. Nurse Mo, thank you for the super sticker. I don't really see any questions. Black Hourglass, Al Capone did not have this many charges. Thank you for the super chat. Fly Girl 1787 said Dre had hit his mama pots and pans. No more diners. This thing just got real deep. There you guys have it, honey. Pam should be charging us billable hours for this one. Wait, gotta go. Thank you so much for the super chat. Your support is good enough. Make it make sense that Nesto gonna say he never owned a car or driven before. I don't know what Nesto gonna say, but if it's those arguments that we've heard on those calls or the windmilling that they've been doing on the YouTube streets, that's just not gonna work for this type of a situation. Thank you, Yvonne, for becoming an intellect. I appreciate that. Can't wait to hear Bert and Ernie jail call April 25th, 2024. Oh, yes, absolutely. Me too. I wonder when he found out he was indicted because I'm not sure if he knew on the 23rd. That's the only reason why I was a little skeptical on whether he knew or not because he was talking mad joint. I was like, he can't be that ballsy where you're like, oh, they lying and all of that. I'm like, maybe he don't know. Maybe he doesn't know. Thank you, Nicole, for gifting your 5 membership. It was 3,300 of you guys on her. Make sure you hit the like button. Thank you guys for being kind to each other because I was not looking at the chat. And, mods, half of them are off. They're probably at work, Jay put an Apple tracker on his truck and car after this. He hit everything, destroyed all fake wedding photos, count his coins, checked his. Thank you for the super chat. I can't. Code name Nikki said, Pam, you really are a trooper. Thanks for reading the indictment charges. I wanted you guys to see because that's how you get more information. Again, we still don't have all the information because they have discovery. So we don't even have all the information. CCB said the real question is, what the hell is Nesto doing to these women to make them lose their damn mind? That's the question of the day. I think that is the issue. But they said in the beginning of the indictment that he does, he gets the women. Nesto's non-existent dismissal said, Pam, I love how you love your subs and cover this case. Thank you. I appreciate that. Make it make sense. Not sure if Nesto knows how to spell. Did you spell that wrong, like on purpose, Mims? Fraud. I'm not. You guys were cutting up in this chat. I approve this message. I'm so proud of your education, but thanks for this. You are quite welcome. Thank you guys. Fly Girl says Shirley will never date or get married again. PTSD. Yeah, I feel bad for her. This is a little rough. Now, the marriage thing, and you just finding out, saying you found out like 3 days, no, not how many days, about 5 days before you filed for divorce. That got me a little, I don't know. I don't know if they're talking about her or maybe the officers or the detective didn't find out until then. But we do know, like I told you guys yesterday, it probably had to do with Martha because that was just documented when that divorce happened. Now, it seems like if they're able to prove that he was still married to anyone before that, that means, so for instance, if he still was married to his first wife, then that would mean, and that's what Edith or whoever the first wife is, I lost track. If he was still married to the first wife, that means everyone after that, in theory, would be bigamy, right? Because every time you sign that marriage license, you have to say that you're divorced to the prior person. So that's going to be false swearing on all of them. But like I said, Martha's was just real clear and evident because the divorce documents was on file. Shirley saw money signs with Ernest. So I believe that. You pulling up in Bentleys and Rolls Royces, I don't think you automatically believe that they're crooks. Thank you for becoming a member, Nikon Chick. Allie McHenry, thank you for the super sticker. Miss Rose says Shirley did tell Nesto, quote, we will need to have a conversation when you get out, end quote. But now she realizes that the in-person conversation won't be happening. Yeah, and I think, one of the calls that's very interesting when we first were listening to them, when Shirley was talking to him in the beginning, more so when because he got locked up in June. A lot of the calls we heard were like September, October of 2022. Well, he got locked up in July, I'm sorry. A lot of the calls were like September, October of 2022. It was very interesting because she definitely seemed I don't know. I just I know some of y'all ain't feeling it. Y'all like she couldn't have been this dang on wacky. I get that too. I think there were signs. But like I said, plausible deniability where you see some of the stuff and you just like, yeah, I just won't look into it so I can really say I don't know. I think some of that happened, but I don't think she would have never known the extent because as you see, some of this stuff allegedly started back in '09. So she wasn't even with them then. But I think, how would you feel being of this age and you realize somebody married you to use you? Because that's pretty much what this indictment says. But we started talking about the marriages when we first started talking about this case. So I sent the Chronicle Speaks in. That's what Dr. Pat said. Yeah, Chronicle Speaks was talking about the first wife. So yeah, I think I got all of them. All right, y'all. I just wanted to make sure I thanked all of you guys. Pam, can you get the transcript to the grand jury? I have to see what their laws are because I think I can get them here. That would be interesting. I'll definitely check into it. TX Toy said Jay already told us he married her to use her, not love. Well, that's messed up. But anyway. All right, y'all. All minds clear. Well, we all know what's going on. And this is just the beginning because he has two other cases that you guys know of that are quite serious, the CP cases and the SA cases. So those would have to go before the grand jury as well. So we might be back here doing it again very soon. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Cam VC. I appreciate the super chat. Well, my voice is totally gone now, as you guys can tell. So I'm gonna talk to you guys later. I'm sure that Bougie or the Vibers will probably have more elaboration and comments and all of that good stuff. I'm just giving you the rundown of the indictment and the legal questions that you guys have. But I'm gonna get on off of here. Thank you so much again for all of the super chats, and I have some cash apps. Thank you so much, Cheryl and Gina and Deborah, Alice and Pamela. Thank you again for the cash apps. I appreciate your support. And I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm sure I'll see you guys over in these YouTube streets. Because you know how we do. We always over here trying to support each other. And get down to the bottom of it. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later.